Hello dear students, welcome to SR ICSE English tutorial. Today I will be explaining you class 9 poem I Remember by Thomas Hood. The title of the poem I Remember is, we can say, a nostalgia. The poet remembers his happy days of childhood. So let's begin. The first stanza, I remember the house where I was born. The poet here goes back to those happier days of childhood and he remembers what comes back to his mind. The house where he was born, his native house. The little window where the sun came peeping in at morn. Morn means morning. The little window, that means in his room or in his house, there was a little window where the sun came peeping. Peeping means rising. The sun rose in the morning, he could see through that window. He never came a wink too soon. Now, he is the sun. The sun here is personified, as if the sun is his friend. So, the sun came a wink too soon. The sun was never late. Wink means never late. He always came on time, nor brought too long a day. So, neither the sun was late, the sun was punctual, and not brought too long a day. But days were not longer. He never could bring a single day which could have been longer. Now, why he desires or why he wanted a longer day? So that he can play, so that he can spend some time, more time outdoor. But now I often wish the night. But now means at present. This, this poem, or in the stanza, we will see shift. There is a shift, or you can say he is fluctuating between, he goes back to his childhood and comes back to his adulthood. So there is a fluctuating mood. The poet is remembering his happier days of childhood, and again he becomes sad at the present situation or the days of his adulthood. We have to note few things, that is, when he is remembering, he is becoming happy when he is remembering his childhood, when he is becoming nostalgic. But at the same time, the tone, the mood of the poet is depressing, melancholic. He is sad. He is sad, he is not happy with his present life, with his, he is a grown up adult, he is a grown up man, but this kind of life he does not like. He wants, he always is, he's craving, or he wants, or he wishes, if he could have gone back to that childhood. So in the first stanza, it is clear, I think, that he remembers his house where he was born, and how this is the morning time. In the whole poem, we will see the poet has described his childhood in different timing or different breakup of an entire day. So he, in the first stanza, he makes it clear the morning part, or the memories that he had. This is in the morning of his those childhood days, what he did. So with the sun, he woke up, the sun was always at time, means always on time, and then he wished that the sun could have widened the day, could have brought a very long day so that he can play outside. And now he comes back. He comes back to his adult day or his adulthood. And then he says, but now, at present, I often wish the night. When he was small, he waited for the sun. And now he does not want to see the sun. So he often wishes the night had borne my breath away. He wished that he would have died at night. His life, or he does not want to see the sun coming out next day, because next day, seeing the sun next day means to live again another day. The way he greeted the sun every day with joy, that is no more now. Now he wants that the sun should not rise, or he should not see the rising sun the next day. Now he wishes the night to end his life. Now second stanza. I remember the roses red and white, the violets and the lily cups, those flowers made of light. The lilacs where the robin built and where my brother said the laburnum on his birthday, the tree is living yet. So during the daytime we see that the poet goes to the garden where he sees roses of red color, white color, and he sees violets, that is also flower, and lily cups. So in the garden he sees rose trees, he sees violets, he sees lily clubs, and the flowers made of light. Now, the bright color of rose flower, violets, and lilies, because he was a child, he had that idea, the bright radiance, okay, the bright colors, and thus that is also in the sunlight. They appeared very bright. That is why, as a child, he thought it was made of light. The bright colors of the flower, which which was shining with the golden light of the sun. And what else? He also saw lilac. Lilacs is a bush. Lilacs were the robin. Robin is a kind of bird. The robin had a nest in those lilac bushes, and he mentions his brother. What he says, that my brother set here means planted. My brother planted the laburnum. Laburnum is a tree. So in one of his birthdays, his brother planted a laburnum tree. The tree is living yet. There is an exclamation. This is another sadness. Exclamation means he is disheartened. He feels sad. Why he feels sad? Because his brother is no more. His brother has died, but the tree is still living. The tree exists, though his brother does not exist anymore. Next. Now, third stanza. I remember where I was used to swing. Now he explains the evening time. Now he says that I remember where I used to swing. Swing is a type of thing where the children, they enjoy in the park and all, and thought the air must rush as fresh. So when he was swinging on a swing, the air that came to him rushing past, the air hit his face because of the force of the swing. He felt the force of the air, which was as fresh to swallows on the wings. So with the air that came, that he felt on his face or felt on his body, he felt as if he is a bird, that is swallow bird, flying like a swallow bird on the wings. So on the swing, when he was going, he was like a pendulum. He was going this side and that side on a swing. So he felt like a swallow bird, that is flying on his wings. And then my spirit flew in feathers then, and his spirit had wings, his soul, his mind. He felt his spirit as light as feather, and that was flying high. And that is so heavy now. He again comes back to his adulthood, his present time. The spirit that was so light, felt as feathers, is now as heavy. Why? Because now his mind, his spirit is filled with anxiety, worries. So it is heavy with sorrow. And summer pools could hardly cool the fever on my brow. So during the summer time, the summer pools, he used to dive in the pool, swim in the pool, and that made him cool. That gave him refreshment, or that gave him some, some relief from the summer heat. But now the heat, the fever is also, heat of the body. So now the fever on my brow, nothing can cool down. Those summer pools cannot cool down his fever, cannot bring down his fever. The fever on my brow, brow means forehead. Why his head means why he is having fever on his brow? That is because it is nothing but it is full of, his head is full of worries. This fever is suggestive of worries and anxieties, the gloominess that he suffers now. Now we go to the last stanza. I remember the fir trees dark and high. So he says that the fir trees, fir trees are very tall trees. So he remembers those are dark and high. Why dark? Because he cannot see the top. High means very tall trees. I used to think they're slender tops. Slender tops means very thin. Fir trees are, not a full grown type of tree or evergreen tree. No, they are coniferous trees which grows in mountain areas. So they are very long and slender. Okay. So as a child, he could not see. As a child, he could not see that high tops, because as a child he was small in height. He could not see, he could not see the tops. And then what did he thought? He thought that we're close against the sky, that the tall tops, the tops of the trees were touching the sky. He thought the fir trees so tall, actually his height was small, as he could not visualize. So it was his thought that the tops of the fir trees are touching the sky. It was a childish ignorance, and that thought, he calls it a childish ignorance. Childish because innocent, and ignorance means unaware. He was unaware of the fact that it is not so. It was a kind of childish foolishness. Okay, he was unaware that actually the fir trees are not touching the sky. And then, but now 'tis little joy to know I am farther off from heaven. And now it is a little joy. Now he has grown adult. He has come to know that it is a little joy. There is no pleasure to know I am farther off from heaven, that heaven is not close. At that point of time, he thought that, okay, the fir tree is touching the sky, that means heaven is very near. But now he has realized the truth that it is not true, and now he realizes that heaven is quite far. Then when I was a boy, as a boy he thought heaven was so near that the fir tree can also touch. But now he has understood the fact. So the childhood was like a paradise. Okay, we have come to the end of the poem. So to conclude, we can say few points. That is, the poet's life or the childhood was like a paradise. Now the speaker, or as we see, the mood is melancholic because he is going through some struggles and troubles of adulthood. And though he knows it is not possible, actually he wants to live his childhood once more. So thus, that is all with the explanation. If you like it, please share it with your friends, and like, share and subscribe my video. Meet you in the next video. Thank you.